The main thing I always hear is, where is Fonzworth Bentley? And now Farnsworth Bentley has been named in a lawsuit with Diddy. Now, it's very important to note during this time that a civil lawsuit has absolutely nothing to do with Diddy's criminal case, but Diddy and Farnsworth Bentley have just been sued. A man named Randy Pittman is suing Diddy and Derek Watson, aka Fonzworth Bentley. He is suing alleging SA and assault. He's also alleging intentional infliction of emotional distress and gross negligence. So let's get into his allegations. Okay. He is alleging on May 23rd of 2003, he was performing his duties as a talent scout for Options Talent at Lenox Square Mall in Atlanta, Georgia. He says at that time, a Sean John fashion show was being held at the mall. He claims that he did not work for Sean John and he was not affiliated with the fashion show, and his presence at this event was solely in his capacity as a talent scout for Options Talent. He alleges that during this event, he was approached by Fonzworth Bentley, who inquired about his occupation and asked if he knew any women who would be interested in attending an after party hosted by Sean John Combs. He claimed that Fonzworth Bentley offered him an entry to the party on the condition that he bring female guests along, and he agreed that he would attempt to bring some guests to the event. He claimed that following the fashion show, he was introduced to Sean Combs, who provided him with the event credentials and instructed him to act if he was a part of the Sean John team, including by taking photographs of Combs during the event. He then claimed that Diddy and Fonzworth Bentley directed two young females who were present at the event to a post-event interview at Rich's department store and then head to a hotel party. And this man is claiming that these females were only 13 and 14 years old, and they were transported to the hotel by members of Combs' entourage, where a party was held and where the essay occurred. He claims that once they got to this hotel, Diddy and Fonzworth Bentley provided him and the two females with alcohol and pills described as E, and coerced them into non-consensual acts through intoxication, manipulation, and threats of violence. He goes on to allege that him and the females were subject to SA, battery, and other unlawful acts by Diddy and Fonzworth Bentley during the duration of the party. And that's the end of his allegations in his lawsuit. But y'all been asking, where is Fonzworth Bentley? And it now looks like Fonzworth Bentley is about to be coming to the front. We'll just have to see how this all plays out in court, but y'all let me know what you guys think about all this.
First off, y'all need to stop accosting us with these photos of Diddy with his tongue out. All right. Second off, yeah, where is Fonzworth? He's been awfully quiet these days, and I think in Diddy's federal case, Fonzworth needs to they need to subpoena Fonzworth Bentley. I want to find out more information. But also, too, when I bring up Fonzworth's name, I'm being a bit facetious because there have been people that have spoken about Fonzworth, specifically how Fonzworth has particularly sticky fingers.
So last night, they said why Farnsworth Bentley was fired from Diddy's service. Do y'all want to know why?
Yeah, why?
They said that he was a thief.
That nigga right there, bruh, don't lay nothing down around him. Don't lay nothing down around dude right there. Dog, Jennifer Lopez had these boots, they cost $5,000. She wanted these boots so bad, she was mad. They looked through everything trying to find Jennifer boots. But I don't know how Farnsworth Bentley found that shit. But we went over there to his house and we found a lot of Jennifer shit and everybody else's shit that belonged to Puff.
I had a show. We had a show. And I asked Mr. Bentley, can he hold my chain? And he was like, yeah, I got you. And then he never quite gave me back my chain. And then every time I asked him, he always came up with buku excuses of why I can't get my chain. Mr. Bentley is a fucking thief, period. Period. And that was his reputation too around there, you dig? Everybody knew Mr. Bentley was a thief. He used to steal shit.
Can I ask you about your interaction with Fonzworth Bentley, man? Did he really fly with an umbrella? Did he really land at did he really come in and Mary Poppins this thing?
Fuck that. Did he really steal your chain?
No, he deboed my chain. It's levels.
He took it from you in your face? So that's deboed.
Yeah, he kind of took it from me in my face. I told that nigga to hold
What
my
chain, little nigga?
I told my nigga hold my chain. I'm about to go perform, and I never quite seen it.
But being a thief aside, these are absolutely incredible things that this person is alleging, because this goes into the idea that Diddy had a criminal organization, right? If you have an entire entourage that is aware that they're young girls, 13, 14, however old that they are, and not only that, but then they're trafficking them to different locations, but not only that, but then giving them drugs, e-pills, alcohol. Although it sounds odd to me, because how do you, as let's say a talent manager, how do you take drugs and alcohol, presuming that he knows that they were 13, 14 years old, because the person who said this is a part of the talent agent, so he would know of the young girls' age. And then with drugs and alcohol, all of y'all were coerced into doing things against your will. Absolutely insane, as well as incredible. Now, those young girls are probably 36, 35 years old at this particular junction. You're going to need those women to also to testify as well in order to prove all of this to be true, in order to increase the chances of what's being alleged here to have legs. But it is no way outside of the realm of believability that Farnsworth Bentley is somehow implicated in Diddy's bad behavior. It would actually explain a little bit more information as to why he's been so quiet over the past several years. But let's go through some of this document so we can get more information. Combs and Watkins, being Fonzworth Bentley, later directed the plaintiff to bring two young females who were present at the event to a post-event interview at Rich's department store and then go to the hotel party. Plaintiff and two females aged 13 and 14 were transported to a hotel by members of Combs' entourage where a party was held and where the assaults occurred. While at the hotel, Diddy and Fonzworth provided the plaintiff and two minor females with alcohol and pills described as E and coerced them into non-consensual blank acts through intoxication, manipulation, and threats of violence. Plaintiff alleges that he and two minor females were subjected to assault, battery, and other unlawful acts by Combs and Watkins during the duration of the party. I guess this is also essentially saying that Farnsworth was swinging both ways as well. As direct and proximate result of defendant's actions, plaintiff suffered physical injury, severe emotional distress, psychological trauma, and lasting harm. Now, the 5 counts that the plaintiff is alleging is count 1 on assault as well as battery, count 2 drugging and endangerment, count 3, intentional infliction of emotional distress. Count 4, civil rights violations. Count 5, negligence and gross negligence. And count 6, punitive damages. Now, previously, the young lady said that the amount that he's asking for was undisclosed, but you can see right here that the plaintiff demands judgment against the defendants as follows: $7.5 million. I always find it odd when you get these cases where the plaintiff comes out 20 something years later and is alleging something at the same time. Now, you know, we all know Diddy's a piece of shit. We already know that he's a monster, but I want to know what you guys think as well. Write it down in the comment box down below. Do you think that this is legit, or do you think that this is another attempt at extracting as much money as possible from the Diddy empire? Do you guys also think that Farnsworth was really about that life as well? Also, before we get out of here, I want to show something else to you guys. The plaintiff in this case, Randy Dwayne Pittman, has been very busy over the past couple of years when it comes to being a litigant. This document represents all of the cases that he has filed from 2008 is the one all the way at the bottom over here. So it goes from 2008 all the way up to 2025. You can actually see here that filed in Georgia against Pittman and Combs, and he actually just fired one. Actually, it was on the same day. Filed 2 on the same day. One in Georgia, one in California, and looks like this one is Pittman versus Romilly Insurance Group. I don't know. My spidey senses go up when I see something like this. When you see someone as litigious as what they are, you know, it really makes me think, is this a real thing, or is this someone whose, you know, full-time job is figuring out how to squeeze money out of people? But yeah, guys, leave me your thoughts, comments down in the description box down below. But what I find also interesting about content like this is that if this is true, think about the brand of Farnsworth Bentley, right? Morals, integrity, image, standards, kind of all these things. Now, if these things prove to be true, yet another reason that you cannot believe people based off of the words they say, but you must look at their actions. But all right, guys, leave me your comments down below. Let's have a discussion about it, and I will see you soon. Peace.
She belongs to the street.
Girl, don't hold my hand. You a mattress actress on the OnlyFans. Get your money, girl, but damn, how is that your only plan? What you gonna do when you get too old to strip and dance? Get up out your echo chamber, screaming period and yes. You a low down dirty woman if you try to get knocked up by a high value man.